business is a calling, so we are simply doing what God called us. The beautiful thing about responding to God's calling is that there is grace. And then grace becomes our definability, becomes God's equity in the business, with the expected ROI being glory to His name. So we then only become His stewards of resources. In any case, the earth and everything belongs to Him. But beyond that, Deuteronomy chapter 28, the Bible says, "And when we shall diligently seek to hear His voice and do, then He will set us high above the rest." In fact, I called all the enlisted promises there being economic blessings. Yeah, everything in there is economic blessings. But then in the New Testament, Jesus says, "And my sheep, they know my voice. They hear and they do. They follow." The voice of the Lord is the voice of provision. And in there is strategic intent. Is the grace, you get to abound in the grace of discernment of times, like the sons of Isaac. They knew the times and they knew what Israel should do. And later on, when you read through the scriptures, the Bible accounts that, and they were mighty in the land. Yes. And so you get to have the strategic intent of where the opportunities are. And so you optimize value with the little resources that you have, because He's leading you. The Lord rewards faithfulness. Actually, He says, "Well done, good and faithful." That word faithful is a key one. It means you will go through seasons and situations. The rains will beat, but you still remain faithful. But as a virtue ingrained within our value system, these are things that don't just happen. I imagine that you would historically go through a season. Let me take us back a bit. Some 20 plus years, he was quite resilient in the area of intercession at campus and serving in Christian Union in intercession, and also giving to us the needy in the area of support to orphans, school fees programs. One day I was walking to the library. I heard a voice talking to me. Say, "Simon, I'll raise you to greatness." Checked around, I didn't see the person who was talking to me. And then my colleague, who was my intercessor partner, had a dream or vision around the same time that spoke into the same thing. However, the events that happened thereafter were very opposite to what I had had. Went through a very painful season. It was a wilderness experience that touched on my health, and then no job, sleeping on cartons, not for a year or a month, for a period of not less than 3 years. And so I decided one day to actually go and buy rat and take my life. So with 5 shillings, I went to the shop, and the prices of rat had gone up by 50 cents. So I think inflation might save life sometimes. Disappointed walking back home. Was living in a mapati shanty. Then there was a weekend challenge in a nearby church. The preacher was preaching and said, "There is hope in the land of the living. Even a live dog is better than a dead lion." Say, though a tree is cut, yet it will still sprout. So I went to Arboretum over the weekend, laid in the grass, started crying, thanking God for the pain. Said, this can't be for free. And I thought to myself, after all, pain might be a privilege. It's not often when you are singled out. 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 10, after you have suffered for a little while, the God of all grace himself, not your governor, himself, not your bishop, or himself will come, strengthen you, restore you, strengthen you, and establish you. So after I had kept thanking God for the pain, that same day I got a call from my lecturer. Then he asked me, do you have a job? I said no. He said, come and see me. And that is the job that got me into what I'm doing now, 20 years plus. And I got healed. The pains disappeared. I got then to understand the power of enter his gates with thanksgiving. Often we are so well privileged, but we take it as a right. Yet it's only by his grace and mercy.